Hey folks, hope you're doing good today. Now I've got some heavy Blackened deathcore for you, some bands from all over the world as well, the UK, the US and Australia. So yeah, we're covering a lot of continents today. The first band we're going to check out, we had them on the channel recently as well. They got a new album, double album coming out I should say, 14 tracks to listen to. So if you like this kind of stuff, they've got you sorted. This is A Night in Texas. Their new one is called Feed the Lions. Let's check it out. Nice ride sound. Sick drumming. Nice reverb on that outro part there, gives it an atmosphere, sounds dope. These guys do it right. They've got this sound dialed in, they've got the kind of composition to these kind of tracks dialed in as well. They're moving from, you know, half time to double time and things like that, and breaking it down for us, and all the different sections. These, you know, these modern Blackened deathcore bands, they've got it all figured out. They know what they're doing with it. But I will say that I do feel that this music now could do with adding something more to it, or changing something about it. Because with this track as well, I do feel like as dope as it sounds, as heavy as it sounds, and it is kind of a perfected version of deathcore. I have heard it before now, and I feel like this track as well doesn't didn't have anything in there that I haven't heard before. Didn't have anything that makes you go, oh shit, that's fresh, and something like that. And that's what I do want to hear from these kind of bands now. I do want to hear something where you go, oh, haven't heard that one before, or it's different sound or something. I don't know what it could be. I don't play this kind of music, so I wouldn't know how to advance it myself. But I do feel like now, you know, we've had this kind of great sound and energy for a few years now, where it would be nice to get some fresh tacked on top. I don't know what it could be, but it would be nice if we could get it. Dope band. This next band, this is a new band to the channel. It's called Apocalypse Pony. The track's called Daemonis. And where did I remember these guys were from? Phoenix, Arizona. So let's check it out. Sounds a good one. The latest report is you're already fucked with the greenhouse gases. Dope drumming in these kind of bands. It's nice to get this atmospheric synthy edge in this music as well. It gives it a nice atmosphere, gives it a creepiness, gives that blackness into it as well. Cool bass sound. Get pretty bad fires here in Portugal, but a lot of them are started by pyromaniacs. People going about throwing Molotov cocktails out their car window. The mentalists. Very cool. Definitely got to keep on and, you know, up our game with the global warming thing, because we're not doing enough as it is. And if the latest report's anything to go by, we probably might be too late to do anything about it anyway. So buckle up, it's going to be a rough ride. Cool track. I like the atmospheric edge to this one. The synthy edge really came across, was really a big part of the music in this one. Wasn't just something in the background, was actually quite a big part of the music, which was cool. Cool guitar tone in this one as well. Great drumming. You always get great drumming in these kind of bands. So one thing about deathcore and Blackened deathcore is that they're always high level drummers, because you've got to be able to do that super high BPM double bass and all the kind of ghost notes and gravity blasts and all the things that come along with this music. So yeah, the drummers in this music are always high level, which is one thing I do always like about this music, is you're going to hear some dope drumming, and you know I absolutely love that. Right, we're going to finish off with this last band. I've got his t-shirt on. This is a one-man band from Bradford, UK. I love following along with this guy. He likes supporting the channel as well, which is super dope. But because I've got an affinity for one-man bands doing their own thing, especially guys like this who are really putting in a lot of effort and taking on the board all of the different tasks that you've got to do as a one-man band to promote yourself, to record yourself, to make a video, to do all that kind of stuff. This guy does it, and he doesn't just do it kind of casually and just put in the minimum amount of effort. He goes above and beyond and kind of produces stuff that we don't see from certain bands, where they've got a lot more people on hand to do all the work and get stuff done. We've seen lower quality stuff from full bands, and I really love it when you see a one-man band come through, and you can see they've put in the effort, and it's turned out well as well. It's not just some real amateur garbage. So this is Cincinatti Bowtie. The latest track he's got for us is called A Cataclysmic Nightmare. Let's check it out. To the ear, sounds just as heavy. It's got the right guitar tone. So yeah, love a one-man band. It looks like he's got some mates in this video though. One thing I will say to this guy, because it's so important in this kind of music to get that kind of deathcore punching sound, is you need to try and make your kick and your snare absolutely kick. I think it would have been nice to get a bit more punch out of the snare in this one. Hasn't quite got that deathcore levels of kick to it. Hear the bass nicely. Dope. Can hear all the elements of the band in this one. The bass cuts through nicely and it's got its own place within the mix, which is super dope. And in terms of the mix, I think it sounded great, other than I would have just give more weight and more power to that snare hit, especially on those sections where it's like and you want that big ringing out kind of thudding weighty snare hit to fill out the sound and give a real punch to the snare. So that would have been what I would just kind of mentioned on this one to try and think about for the next track is in deathcore particularly, probably more so than any other style of music actually, you've got to have super punchy kick and snare because it's a big part of the sound, it's a big part of the music. Those driving drums and the double bass and all the gravity blasts and all that are a big part of the deathcore sound. As I was saying before, the drummers are so technical in this kind of music that it is, your ears are always catching on to what the drummers are doing. So it's important, particularly in this music, to make sure that your drum kit sounds right and has the weight and power that it needs to kind of really pummel the listener. Because I do think that is an important aspect of this music. And I think the snare, particularly just in this track, just didn't have it sounded great still, but it just didn't have that kind of aggressive punch to it. And there's various ways you could get that. You can layer a load of samples on top of each other, because I'm pretty sure it is MIDI drums. You can add, you can do layering with compression and side chaining and things like that. Just YouTube, how do I get a massive snare? I'm sure there's a million videos out there to help you out. But yeah, particularly in deathcore, more so than any other kind of music, your kick and your snare has got to be distinctive, it's got to be powerful, it's got to be loud, it's got to cut through the mix. It's almost got to be the driving force of the music, because there's so much double bass in there, and when it's blazing away, it takes up so much of the sound of the mix and kind of overbears the guitars and all that stuff, so it's got to sound right and it's got to hit you with the right amount of punch. So just double check that when you're next doing your mix, that it hits you in the guts when every time you get a hit on the snare. But super dope job, and as I say, this guy does it all himself, and you can see he's doing his best with it as well, which I think is just super dope, going above and beyond what you'd expect just one person to be able to do. So super dope, very, very cool. Hope you've enjoyed that today, guys. 3 heavy Blackened deathcore bands from all over the world. We've covered 3 continents today as well, which is pretty cool. But as well, pretty cool to see full bands, 5-piece bands doing the thing, and then one-man bands doing the thing as well. And I think the one-man bands, when they get kind of 90% of the way there to where the 5-man bands can get, man, you got to give them extra props because they're doing it all themselves, and there's so many tasks to get done there. Very, very cool. Hope you enjoyed that today, guys. We'll see you around. Bye.